me a Parsha story. Welcome to Parsha House.
As we continue to look for ways to support our family in Israel, I am hopeful that this Parsha story can be a part of that by helping us grow our Torah learning and how we treat each other. Trevor Levy moved with his family from London, England, to the west side of Manhattan. Trevor was 7 years old. He began second grade in his brand new school. And as you can imagine, he was quite nervous because he didn't know any of the children in his class. On the very first day of school, Trevor was most excited about recess. I'll get to play outside with the children, and that's going to be so much fun. Well, it was 10:10. A bell rang, and the teacher said, "It's recess time." And all the children lined up and walked outside to the field. And as soon as they got on the field, they started running. They had brought their mitts with them, and one of the children brought a bat. They quickly chose up teams and began to play baseball. Trevor did not quite get what was going on. Back home, his friends played soccer during recess, and he was actually an excellent soccer player. Trevor's team was in the field first. The first child was up at bat. His name was Mikey, and he hit a ground ball. When it came towards Trevor, Trevor knew just what to do. Trevor kicked the ball to the catcher. He was trying to get a goal. And all the other kids on the team started shouting, "Throw it to first! Throw it to first! Throw it to first!" Trevor stood there dumbfounded. He had no idea what to do. He had no idea what they were talking about. How could he throw the ball? He knew the rules from back home. No touching the ball with your hands. Oh my. The kids on the other team realized what was going on. The kids on Trevor's team realized what was going on. And now he was starting to get a little bit worried about how this recess was going to go. There were 3 outs in the field. His team was up. This was clearly not soccer, but what in the world was it? Some of the children laughed at Trevor, and he walked off the field feeling dejected, feeling like, I don't want to make a further fool out of myself. I don't want to be up when my team is up. The bell rang once again, and recess was over, and the children lined up to walk back into the school building. Trevor could hear somebody pitter-pattering behind him, running up to him. It was a friend in his class named Max. "Wait up, Trevor, wait up." Trevor was so embarrassed, he just continued walking with his head down. Max caught up, and Max was lovely. "Hi, I'm Max. I see that you don't know how to play this game. Let's have a play date after school today, and we can play together. I can teach you, and you can practice. Because I believe in you, Trevor. You can be an awesome baseball player." That day, Trevor learned the rules of baseball. He and Max just kept playing and playing and playing until it was dinner time, and Every day after that, Max and Trevor practiced and played together for at least an hour, often more. They became such good friends. They were great buddies. Trevor joined Little League, and he became one of the best players on the team. He was forever grateful to Max for his kindness, for his friendship, and for his patience. And now Trevor knew how to play soccer very well and also baseball. As they continued to grow through the grades, third grade, fourth grade, fifth grade, as Max and Trevor grew up, they continued to stay close. When they got really big, when they were old enough to get married, they invited each other, of course, to each other's weddings and enjoyed dancing with one another and always knew that they shared a very special friendship. After Max got married, he and his wife moved to Hamilton, Ontario, in Canada, and Trevor and his family settled in Manhattan, where his family had moved to initially when they came from London. The two friends kept in touch. They spoke a few times a year, and they wrote letters. Yes, they wrote real letters, not only email. And their letters were always signed with a few baseballs near their names to remember their special bond that began on the first day that Trevor came to his new school and they played baseball during recess. Once, Trevor received a letter from Max. And in the letter, Max described the toughest winter that Hamilton had seen in 150 years. The snow was piled up on the sides of the road about 6 feet high. And the unusual part of this story is that the first snow came in early November, which was a shock to everyone. It was especially a shock to Max's family because they were in the middle of construction and all of the lumber had been delivered on November 1st. The contractor was sure that he and his team would have enough time to get the wood up before the first snow. That way, the frame would be up and they could continue working through the winter. But with this unexpected storm, the wood was covered in snow, and they would need to wait until late May to dig it out. Meanwhile, Max's family was living in the middle of a construction zone. His wife was expecting a new baby in January, which complicated things further. Max wrote in the letter, "We're considering a number of options. We might rent a different house, or we might even need to move into a hotel." Trevor knew just what to do. 4 days later, a huge flatbed truck rolled down Klein Avenue South, the street that Max and his family lived on in Hamilton, Ontario. The kids ran outside. Where was that truck going? What was being delivered? What could it be? Which family on our block is receiving such a huge delivery that there's a flatbed truck bringing it? That's even bigger than an Amazon truck. The truck pulled up right in front of Max's house, and it was loaded with lumber. He was in shock. He put on his coat and his boots and he went outside. There was a big piece of paper tied around one of the bundles of lumber, and it read, "Dear Max, you helped build me as a person. I am honored to help you build your home. Your friend forever, Trevor. Even though over 30 years had passed from that day when these two friends first met on Trevor's first day of school, he never forgot the act of kindness that Max did for him and wanted to express his hakarat hatov to his friend. In this week's Parashat Eyra, we learn about the first 7 makot, the first 7 plagues that were brought onto the Egyptians. There's something that the first 3 have in common: dam, blood, tzefardea, frogs, and kinim, lice. What do these 3 makot have in common? Are they the same size? No. Are they the same color? No. Something that's the same about dam, tzfardea, and kinim is that Hashem sent the same messenger to bring on these first 3 makot. Who was that messenger? It was Aaron, Moshe's brother. Why was Aaron sent? Why didn't Moshe bring the first 3 of the makot of dam, tzefardea, and kinim? Rashi explains that Moshe could not bring these makot because he had been helped by the water and he was helped by the sand. Dam and Tzfardea both came from the Nilus, from the Nile River, and that's water. And when Moshe was a little baby in a basket, he was in the water. And Kinim came from the ground, which also helped Moshe when he needed to bury the Egyptian. Moshe had hakarat hatov to the water and to the ground. Hashem wanted to teach Moshe the importance of gratefulness, the importance of hakarat hatov. Aharon was the one to bring dam and tzfardea from the Nilus River to put the matet, the stick, on the water. And Aharon was the one to also bring kinim from the ground because Moshe could not. It wouldn't be right. The ground and the water had helped him. But really? Does water have feelings? Does the ground have feelings? When you turn on the water in your bathroom sink and you start washing your hands, if you would clap your hands together, would it hurt the water? No. If you take a baseball bat and hit the ground, will the ground feel hurt? Does the ground have feelings? Hashem is teaching a very important lesson to us. Even if the ground doesn't have feelings, even if the water doesn't have feelings, we still don't do anything negative to that object because we want to be the kind of people that express gratefulness. We want to be so sensitive and remember to be so grateful for everything that is done for us, even in this case, when it was an object, not even a person. And that is a lesson that we can learn from this week's Parsha and bring into our lives. May our efforts to do so serve as a zechut for our beloved Chayalim and our brothers and sisters in Israel. Shabbat Shalom.